Hello, all you beautiful people out there, and welcome to my channel for another atheist church. Sorry about that. We will see how long my throat holds out today. And we are still in Let's Get Biblical, Volume 1 by Rabbi Tovia Singer. For those of you who don't know, and most of you probably do know by now, I love Rabbi Tovia Singer because he tells it like it is. You know, I found out that Christianity lied to me, which is why I left. You know, um, now that does not mean that I believe that Judaism is the way to go. Otherwise, I would be Jewish by now. But it does mean that I appreciate the rabbi telling us what the authors really meant when they were penning this stuff. Because you got to remember that the Christians changed things to suit their agenda, you know. And not only that, but the things they didn't necessarily change, like the words that they may not have changed, um, they've reinterpreted in such a way as to serve their narrative. So when you grow up thinking like that, and it's not the people's fault who grew up thinking like that, okay? It's the people who taught them to think like that. Let's get that straight. Um, it's refreshing to find out what these people really meant when they were writing this stuff. So, kudos to Dr. or Rabbi, sorry, brain fart, Rabbi Tovia Singer. Kudos, Rabbi. And anyway, I know you watch my channel sometimes, and I'm hoping that sometime, I know you're a busy guy, but I'm hoping that sometime that you'll come on my channel and share some of the riches of your knowledge with us. Um, Knowledge is always a good thing to have. Alrighty. Okay. With that said, let's get on with the show. And today we are talking about the authority of the oral law. The early Christians did recognize the authority of the oral law. Although now Christians will say, well, it's been superseded by the new covenant and blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Um, so, and before we get into it, one thing that I'm always impressed about, I guess you could say, I don't know, impressed might not be the word, um, is that, you know, Christians will say we're not bound by the oral law, yet in the same breath they'll say the Ten Commandments are the foundation for morality, which, and they're not. Come on, they're not. But that's for another day. Um, but if you're gonna say you gotta hold on to the Ten Commandments, which, come on, the Christians don't hold to the Ten Commandments anyway. I mean, come on. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. There are a few Christians like the Seventh day Adventists that keep to the Sabbath day, you know, but all in all, they don't care. Okay? So they don't even follow all of the Ten Commandments, right? But if you're going to follow the Ten Commandments, you've got to follow all 636, I think, commandments, which they don't. I mean, if you're going to insist that people have to follow um, uh, love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, strength, and mind, and whatever, then you've also got to say you've got to follow the law in the Torah that says don't wear mixed fabrics, which Christians break all the goddamn time. Polyester, anyone. But anyway, I don't care about that. I don't think anybody cares about that, to be honest. I'm just pointing out their utter hypocrisy. All right, moving on. Um, so first of all, part of the law was talking about clean animals. In fact, a lot of the law was talking about clean animals. So, how do we identify a clean animal? Well, Leviticus 11 1 through 8 says, God spoke to Moses and Aaron, telling them, speak to the children of Israel, saying, these are the creatures that you may eat from among all the animals that are upon the earth. Everything among the animals that has a split hoof, which is completely separated into double hooves and brings up its cud, that one you may eat. But this is which you shall not eat from among those that bring up their cud or have split hoofs. The camel, for it brings up its cud, but its hoof is not split. It is unclean to you. And the shaphan, for it brings up its cud, but its hoof is not split. It is unclean to you. And the arnavet, for it brings up its cud, but its hoof is not split. It is unclean to you. And the pig, for its hoof is split, and its hoof is completely separated, but it does not chew its cud. It is unclean to you. Now, I have no idea why um, these people decided that an animal that chews its cud, which means, by the way, in case you don't know, um, chewing its cud means it basically has two stomachs, I believe, and the first stomach processes the raw grass, and then it throws it up, for a better word, and then it eats its own vomit. That's what chewing the cud is. Um, So anyway, so, you know, I I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know. Rabbi, maybe you can, you know, address this. It seems sort of, I don't know, oddly arbitrary to me, but what do I know? Um, okay. Then we've got fish, and not all fish are clean. So we've got identifying signs of clean fish. This you may eat everything in the water, everything that has fins and scales in the water in the seas and in the streams, those you may eat. That which does not have fins and scales in the seas and in the streams, from all that teems in the water and from all living creatures in the water, they are an abomination to you, and they shall remain an abomination to you. You shall not eat their flesh, and you shall abominate their carcass, everything that does not have fins and scales in the water. It is an abomination to you. Can't eat shrimp, people. Um, all right. So now we have the Jewish calendar, and we're still in the oral law, by the way. I didn't change tactics. I'm still in the oral law. Now, the Jewish calendar is a lunar calendar, which is why um, the Christian Easter is on different days, because um, the Passover falls on um, different dates of the year of the solar calendar, because you're taking a lunar calendar and um, turning it over into translating it into a solar calendar, and you know it's just it I have no idea. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I don't know how they do this. Okay, I don't know, and I really don't care. Okay. Passover must occur in the springtime. You shall observe the month of springtime and perform the Pesach offering for the Lord your God, for in the month of springtime the Lord your God took you out of Egypt at night. Deuteronomy 16:1. The Pesach offering must occur on the 14th day of the first month, which is Nisan. The Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the second year from their exodus from the land of Egypt in the first month, saying, the children of Israel shall make the Pesach offering in its appointed time on the 14th day of this month in the afternoon. You shall make it in its appointed time according to all its decrees and laws. You shall make it. That's Numbers 9:1-3. Okay. So this is where it gets really, really messy. Probably not from a Jewish perspective, but definitely from a non-Jewish perspective, this gets messy because, lunar calendars are a lot different than solar calendars. And I'm not even going to pretend to know all that stuff. So I'm not even going to go into it because I don't know. And I have no problem telling you I don't know. All right. He's just explaining how the new moons work, and I'm not, like I said, I don't know how it works, and I'm not even going to pretend to know how it works. Okay, so um, God's covenant with the nation of Israel is eternal. Genesis 17:7. And I will establish my covenant between me and you and your descendants after you throughout their generations, an eternal covenant to be your God and the God of your descendants after you. Genesis 17:19. And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. Genesis 26:3-4, stay in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. For that would be Isaac. For to you and your descendants I will give all these lands, and will confirm the oath I swore to your father Abraham. I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky, and give them all these lands, and through your offspring all nations on earth will be blessed. Okay. And then there are a ton of other verses that just goes to show that, you know, um, um, God's covenant with Israel is eternal, which punts the replacement theology right in its sucker, its mouth. Pooh, yeah. So anyway, for those of you who don't know what replacement theology is, replacement theology is that the Jews rejected the Son of God, which Christians believe is Jesus, blah, blah, blah. And because they rejected the Son of God, the Messiah, then God said, to hell with the Jews, I'm now making my covenant with the church. That's replacement theology in a nutshell. There's more to it than that, but I'm not going to get into it. That's for another show. So, anyway, and my throat is starting to get, yeah. So I think I'm going to call that a day. Remember to press the um, like button, leave a comment down below. It helps the algorithm. Um, if you know about, the Jewish calendar and how they um, um, calculate the Passover and all of this, please do leave it in the comments. I would, love to know. Like I said, I am not an expert on that. I don't pretend to know. And so, and even Christians flat out rely on the Jews to tell them when Passover is, so they know when to celebrate Easter. Gotta love that. So, anyway, have a happy rest of your day, and I will talk to you later. See ya. Bye.